Welcome back to a brand new video from 55 degrees north and to episode 36 of your fortnightly Newcastle upon Tyne construction and restoration update. Coming up in this week's episode, we'll be checking in on all the usual sites, including Pottery Lane, Pilgrim Place and many more. Plus make sure you stick around until the end, as I've got some fresh news on the Tyne Bridge restoration project, as the next phase is about to begin, so you won't want to miss that. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Starting again this week at the site of the former Newcastle General Hospital, where demolition work continues in preparation for the brand new Health and Innovation neighbourhood. Looking across the back of the site, not a huge amount has changed since our last update 2 weeks ago. The crushed material is still being cleared, and you can really see those piles of rubble getting smaller every week. But here's the big news. Turning to face the old main block of the hospital, last time we were here it was almost fully standing. Now, well, take a look, it's almost completely gone. Only one small section remains, and I doubt that'll be there much longer. To really see the difference, I've added a clip from the last update just to compare it. Demolition moves fast, and it doesn't take long before a building that's been here for decades is reduced to rubble. On the ground, 2 excavators are hard at work tearing through brick and concrete piece by piece. You'll notice plenty of water being sprayed as well. That's to keep the dust down while they bring the structure down. And panning round the site, you can see piles of steel girders neatly stacked ready to be taken away for recycling. It's amazing to think that parts of this old hospital will find a new life elsewhere. So here we are, another piece of Newcastle's history gone forever. What was once the main block of the General Hospital now lies in a pile of rubble, making way for something entirely new. It's the end of one chapter, but the beginning of another. We are now checking in on the brand new students' accommodation being built on the site of the old Barker and Stonehouse store, right here on Leazes Park Road. It's been 2 weeks since our last visit, so let's see what's changed. From the front, things actually look pretty much the same as it did the last time, but don't be fooled. There's been a lot of progress happening, especially around the back of the site, so let's head over and take a closer look. Out back, you can see that all the floors are now topped out, which is a big milestone for the build, and if you look closely, those window frames are starting to climb higher and higher, floor by floor, wrapping right round the back of the building. Another detail worth noting, lots of insulation has been fitted along the lower floors. That's a good sign that internal work is pushing forward as well. Now here's something pretty interesting. If you peek through the window of the old Georgian house at the front, you'll notice a lot of internal walls are now in place, so the inside is really starting to take shape too. Swinging back round to the Leazes Park roadside, progress is clear here as well. This week, loads more windows have been installed along the side of the building, giving us a much better sense of what the final exterior will look like. So that's the latest update from the site. Floors topped out, insulation going in, windows climbing up and internal walls taking shape. It's all moving pretty quickly now. So we are now down at Pottery Lane, where 2 large apartment blocks are rising quickly. These are due for completion in 2026 and 2027, and we're here to take a closer look at the progress. Starting, as always, up on the Redgate Bridge, you can see the whole site spread out before us. From this angle, it doesn't look like much has changed, mostly because of all the scaffolding covering the buildings, but don't be fooled, there's been some real progress happening behind it all. Looking along the side of the building from up on the bridge, you can see most of the brickwork is now complete, apart from the upper level, which still has brickwork to be done. Now let's head down onto Pottery Lane itself for a closer look. Here, at what I'm calling Block 1, we can see a few more windows have now been fitted. Over in the corner, the brickwork is beginning to wrap round the side of the building and stretch towards the front. That's a clear sign they're pushing forward steadily with the exterior. Now, moving over to Block 2, it's a very similar story here. More windows have gone in and more of that brickwork has been completed. You can also spot several panes of glass stacked neatly on pallets waiting to be fitted. Around the side of Block 2, even more glass is lined up ready to go, so it looks like we'll be seeing plenty more windows appearing very soon. So while it might look quiet from a distance, up close it's clear that progress is ticking along nicely, with both blocks now well into their brickwork and windows going in. These apartments are starting to take real shape. So we are now heading down to Pilgrim Place at Carlisle Square, where two brand new office blocks are taking shape, including the one that the Department Work and Pensions will eventually call home. Let's take a closer look at how things are progressing on site. As you can see, the new floors are rising rapidly and the skyline here is changing week by week. Looking inside, some of the bright orange support beams are still in place, holding things steady while the next levels are added on. Further up on site, a large trench has been dug for drainage installation, essential groundwork to keep the development running smoothly. And just beyond that, a fresh mould has been created and filled with concrete. It's not entirely clear what it'll be used for just yet, but I'm sure in the coming weeks we'll find out its purpose. Now looking at Warsack Street, you can really see how far the steelwork has climbed the core lift shaft. It is steadily rising floor by floor. From the back, you get the best view of just how much progress has been made across the whole site. Piles of steel and metalwork are ready and waiting to be installed into the next phase. It's incredible to see how quickly Pilgrim Place is actually coming together. And now for an update on the massive His Majesty's Revenue and Customs building project, and let me tell you, week by week this bit is looking closer and closer to completion. Over on the John Dobson Street side, you'll notice some real progress. New trees have been planted, the lampposts are finally fitted where their lights, and the pavement work is almost finished. Just a tiny patch left to wrap up. Plus those new railings with glass panels along the stairs are looking sharp, with just a few more panels to add on the way down the stairs. Swinging around onto Market Street, the pavement work is all complete here too. And check out those doors on the old Carlisle House facade. Freshly renovated and looking fantastic. From the look of them, I'd say the original doors were beautifully restored. Now on Pilgrim Street, most of the pavement is in place, but what really stands out are those massive concrete blocks. Not only will they serve as public seating, but they'll also act as security barriers to prevent vehicles from ramming the building. Clever design with dual purpose. And finally, over on New Bridge Street, the paved areas are now complete and the greenery has exploded since our last update. Lots of new trees and landscaping make this site feel almost finished. So all in all, it looks like we're entering the final stages of this huge project. The HMRC building is really starting to come together and soon it'll be fully complete. What do you think of the progress so far? Please let me know in the comments below. Now, we are checking in on the progress at the brand new North East Space Skills and Technology Centre right here on Ellison Place, being built for Northumberland University. At first glance from across the road, it might not look like much has changed since our last update, but trust me, once we get closer, there are some exciting details to spot. Let's head over and take a look. Down at the bottom end of the site, the first thing you'll notice is the glasswork. A lot more glass panels have been installed since last time, and they're really starting to give the building its modern, high-tech feel. Along the far end, you can also see some new decorative coping being added, which is a nice finishing touch. Moving up to the top end, the first of the glass panels have been fitted here too, and if we swing down the side of the building you can see even more glass panels in place. I really like the pattern in the glass. It gives a sleek, futuristic look that definitely fits the whole space theme. Now, if we take a look right across the far end of the site, the main entrance is really starting to take shape. You can clearly see where it's going to be, and it's beginning to add a lot more definition to the overall structure. And finally, looking up, you'll notice the metal brackets being fitted onto the girders. These are ready for even more glass panels to be installed, which means the exterior should start to come together pretty quickly over the next few weeks. And now for a quick roundup of some of the other projects happening around the city, so let's dive straight in. Starting as usual on Northumberland Street, the paving works are slowly coming along. Since the last video, a small section in the middle has now been completed, and the pattern is actually designed to represent the Lindisfarne Gospels. Nice little historic detail there. Next up, the second stack venue. Work is still underway, with the projected opening now set for October. It was originally meant to be May this year. If you take a look outside, a brand new stack sign has appeared on the wall, so things are definitely moving forward. Now over on Pilgrim Street at the Gotham Hotel, which sits on the old fire station site. The pavement is now complete, with just the road outside left to finish. And I've got to say, I really like the finishing touch they've added. The original fire station sign on the front has been fully revamped, keeping a piece of the building's history alive. And finally, a little tip-off from one of you. A viewer let me know about some new activity starting over on Westmoreland Road. I went to check it out, and sure enough, there's some groundwork going on. Not much info yet, but watch this space. I'll keep digging and find out what's happening over there. And now for the big news on the Tyne Bridge restoration, which I mentioned at the beginning of the video. And trust me, it's all part of an exciting new chapter in the bridge's restoration. We've officially hit the next big milestone. Fresh scaffolding is going up around the western parapet. That's a barrier along the foot and cycle path, making another major step forward, bringing the iconic bridge back to its full glory. With the main bridge deck works now complete, specialist teams are moving on. They're installing what's known as up and overs, scaffolding that climbs from underneath the bridge up and over onto the path. This clever setup gives crews safe access to repair and repaint the screen plates and parapets. And don't worry, pedestrian safety comes first. To keep everyone safe, a brand new pedestrian tunnel is being built along the west path. You'll be able to use it from early 2026. So what's next? Once the parapet and screen plate work is finished, the scaffolding will come down to make way for the next big challenge. Installing a safety deck so teams can finally go to work on the Tyne Bridge's world famous arch. And if you're down on the Newcastle quayside, you'll soon notice something special, as the scaffolding there will be coming down too, revealing the fresh new coat of Hollybush green paint. The Tyne Bridge is coming back to life one step at a time, and it's looking better than ever. So just before I wrap this week's video up, I'd love to hear what you think. So drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts on all the construction going on around the city right now. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a massive thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. If you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel and hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of my future updates. A massive thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on 55 Degrees North.